What's up, guys, and welcome to the weekly Q&A. Real quick before questions, we have to send a shout out to Will Casper, who joined our Patreon at the Jedi Council level. That is so generous. It's huge. Thank you, Will. You have no idea what that means to us right now.
Our first question this week comes from Jesse, who asks what we think of the new High Republic characters that were announced and who is our favorite.
So a lot of the new details that came out were spoken about at the Project Luminous reveal event. But there were a handful of new characters on that list, and those are the ones that I'm most intrigued by right now, just because I hadn't heard about them. So I think my favorite in that list on StarWars.com is probably Loden Greatstorm.
It's a great name.
Yeah, he's the Twi'lek teacher. I guess he's kind of the Yoda of the era. I'm not expecting Yoda to be the main teacher at this point, and it sounds like it's probably Loden. He looks cool.
He's like the cooler version of Yoda. He's like trying to be cool with the kids.
Yeah. What's up, fellow Padawans? But he does have a cool white lightsaber, at least in this concept art, and that's intriguing. Like, that could hint to his past. Like, did he bleed and purify his own crystal, or did he purify someone else's crystal? Whose crystal? Because, like, who would have a red lightsaber at this point in time? That alone raises a lot of questions for me.
And I guess my favorite right now is Vern. She's going to be, I think, the youngest Jedi Knight of the bunch, and she's going to have the young adult book.
I think even younger than that, like the young reader.
The young reader
Justina
novel.
Ireland's writing that one.
Yeah. And I think, like, Ahsoka's story being really young and being a Jedi, I think that would be a good story and good for kids to read.
I also liked Stellan. I think that was the other one that I hadn't heard of before, even though he was in some of the key art that was released. But he's got one of those, like, crossguard lightsabers that's not like Kylo Ren's crossguard lightsaber. It's like a physical crossguard hilt, which also is like, what's the point of that? And I have some ideas, but it'll be interesting to see what that's all about.
Yeah. I also like Avar because she looks like a cool lady.
I just have resigned myself to liking her immediately because it's like Charles Soule's main character as far as I know. And I know that I'm going to love whatever he writes.
James Rincon wants to know if other clones were able to overcome their inhibitor chips like we saw in the Kanan comic.
I think we're going to probably see that in the upcoming episodes of the Clone Wars. So in the Kanan comic, there is this one clone that kind of breaks the spell of what's going on. He realizes that Order 66 wasn't really something he wanted to do, and he makes it right. It's one of the best moments in Star Wars comics, I think. I imagine we're going to see Rex go through something similar.
Yeah. But do you think, like, any of the other clones will snap out of it?
My guess is no. I think that we're going to be focused on the Siege of Mandalore. That's where Rex is. If other clones had snapped out of it, then I assume they would also be on that ATTE with Rex down the line. I think he's probably going to be the only one that Ahsoka is able to reach.
So we might see Ahsoka have to kill some of her friends.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be rough.
Sashimaru Dano asks how large-scale post The Rise of Skywalker stories will be when we start getting them.
I think that, I don't really think we're going to get any soon. I think that they're going to save, like, what happens next for movies. We might get some here and there, like, little comic or book stories, and I wouldn't expect those to be really big, because I think that Lucasfilm is going to want to take some time, figure out what's going to happen in the future after the Rise of Skywalker, and kind of map things out, I hope, instead of just, like, I don't know, that feels like movie stuff to me, not book stuff, and I have to imagine we're going to get books and comics before movies, I guess.
Yeah. My hope is that Rian Johnson's trilogy will be large scale, but it will be all new story, and it will be very much in the future. Like, not really even close to the Rise of Skywalker time.
Yeah, I think that the next time we go beyond the Rise of Skywalker, it should be a big jump. And if that's the case, then I think there is room to tell large scale stories with books and comics. I just don't think that's what they're going to do first. Yeah. I think they want to figure out, okay, what is the next big thing? And then we'll fill in the gaps with the smaller stories. Or maybe we'll have like a big story about Rey starting up the new Jedi Academy, something like that. I'm just not expecting it soon.
Yeah. Drakrathan 101 wants to know, what canon planets would we like to learn more about in the future?
I've said these before, but Jeddah, Exegol, Octo, anything that we've seen like the ruins of, I would like to go backwards and see them in their prime.
Yeah, Exegol was going to be my first one because I think that is a possibility for High Republic time if we get a glimpse of what the Sith are up to.
I actually think that's a great time for it.
Yeah.
One of the reasonings for Exegol being Exegol and not Moraband was that Moraband is known by the Jedi, so the Sith couldn't go back there. But it would be cool to be like, all right, we're the 2 surviving Sith, and we're hanging out at Exegol because the Jedi don't know about it.
Yeah. And yeah, Jeddah is another good one because there's ruins there, and again, big opportunity for a High Republic story to be in that planet.
Yeah, let's see those statues put back upright. Who are those statues of? Maybe they could be High Republic or further back. I don't know.
Yeah. Dylan Foster asks if there is any update on Star Wars Celebration amidst this pandemic that we're all dealing with right now.
So far, not really. I will point out that if you haven't seen this, the official website put a little disclaimer, like in the event of a delay, I believe they said that the date would be pushed. The event wouldn't be straight up canceled. That sounds like what the plan is for now. It's still pretty far out there. We got April, May, June, July, August. It's like 5 months away, 4.5. So hopefully it's far enough out, but there is some language that says like in the event on the website. So
everybody just stay home, hunker down if you can, and, flatten that curve.
Yeah.
So that we can make this happen.
That's it for patron questions. If you're a patron and you didn't see your question answered here, just head over to Patreon where we left you a written response. If you're not a patron, you can learn more by following the link in the description. Just $1 a month will get you access to extra Star Wars Explained content like audio commentaries for the films, and for the Clone Wars, we're doing all new audio commentaries for all these new episodes that are coming out. We are up to episode 7 so far, and we'll be on episode 8 as soon as we can.
On to YouTube questions. Fighting Falcon 77 asks if Lucasfilm is going to be able to have the 2022 film ready, considering everything that's happening. I
think so.
I hope so, but I'm not going to be mad if it has to be pushed. I mean, something like this, no one can plan for it.
Yeah. It's just since they kind of released an updated schedule and they still had that in the 2022 slot, I think they have confidence that they will be able to get it done. I mean, they're in the pre-production stages right now anyway. People are doing things that I think could be done from home if that's what's happening. I think that there's enough time as long as the script and everything, as long as all that stuff is ready, and then they would be filming probably in 2021. I think there's plenty of time for it.
Yeah, I mean, all the movies that are being worked on right now in the movie industry are kind of being put on hold, and there's nothing really to be done about it. But a 2022 slated project, there might be some complications, but like you said, in the early development stages, a lot of that stuff is like storyboarding and hopefully stuff that people can kind of do video chats together about.
It seems far enough out to me, and just the fact that they kept it there on that schedule at least shows they're being optimistic.
Darth Tano 22 wants to know what other Clone Wars arcs we would have liked to have seen animated if the 7th season were longer. I will say the Ventress stuff from Dark Disciple.
Yeah, I think there was like a list of some of the potential episodes that were going to come out, and I'm pretty sure that arc was going to be like 6 to 8 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
It was going to be long.
I mean, I love that they turned it into a book, but it would be so cool to see.
That was my first thought as well. Really, everything that they've already told, I thought would have been great, which I'm sure is why they turned them into books and comics. I mean, Son of Dathomir, I think, is going to be an important thing to have read this coming week. I've got a video coming out about what Maul did in between seasons 5 and 7, so you'll be all right. But yeah, like, that is a really cool arc. Dark Disciple was a really cool arc. I was surprised that they didn't do the Crystal Crisis, because along with the Bad Batch, that was another one that was very nearly done, and it has strong ties to like Rogue One. It was hinting that kyber crystals were being used in the Death Star way before Rogue One was ever in development, and then they took that concept and kept running with it. So I would have liked to see that arc as well.
Aaron Michael asks if Ursa Wren could be the armorer in The Mandalorian.
I don't think so.
I will say, when I heard her speak, the voice sounded very similar, but I don't know if that would be the same character.
I think that if that was something they wanted to do, like, why not just have the same voice actress play the armorer? That or vice versa. All of a sudden have Emily Swallow playing Ursa.
Yeah.
And they didn't do that, so I think their voices just sound similar. I don't think there's going to be any connection beyond that, unless the armorer takes her helmet off in season 2 and looks exactly like Ursa Wren, but I guess they could do that to Emily Swallow, but just looking at her, I think the Mandalorian Armor is a brand new character.
Yeah. Although it would be cool if all these characters that people are talking about might show up in The Mandalorian, if Sabine were to show up in The Mandalorian and she's like, oh, hey, Mom. That would be kind of cool. Flavio Camardella Jr. wants to know if more Star Wars games could come to the Nintendo Switch. I hope so.
I think so.
We've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing, and now I'm like, yeah, I want more fun games to play on this.
Well, we know the Pod Racer's coming, and they've already done 2 Jedi Knight games. It seems to me that there's plenty of room for others to come in. I don't know. I guess my gut is saying that Pod Racer won't be the end. I bet they're going to keep porting some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, aside from the Lego Star Wars games, there isn't really any Star Wars games targeted towards a younger audience. So I could see something...
There are. They're just not good.
Well, I could see them putting out something new that's targeted for kids.
Something brand new.
Yeah, something brand new. Because we've got Battlefront 2, we've got Jedi Fallen Order. Kids can play those, but, they're really young kids. They don't really have much Star Wars video game stuff right now.
Yeah, there's nothing news-wise on the horizon about something like that, except for the Lego Star Wars game that's coming. Yeah, I think, sure, eventually there's going to be something on the Switch that's new, but I think they're going to keep porting things as well. I think, like, pull in Shadows of the Empire or Rogue Squadron 2 or something, like other games of the era of Pod Racer. I'd love to play them again on the Switch.
Jedi Power Battles. Do it, you cowards.
Having more recently played that one, I'm like, I don't know if I'd put myself through that again.
No. Wes Bug asks why we think the Sith species won't return.
Yes, so this was coming off of last week. Someone asked if Yoda could be like a Jedi species the same way there used to be a Sith species. I don't know. It's just a gut feeling. I don't think it needs to happen. And everything that we've heard so far about the Sith is just that they are a division of the Jedi that broke off during the 100-Year Darkness, which was all true in Legends. And then those outcasts went to Korriban and met the Sith species. I don't know. It just seems like an unnecessary complication to me.
Yeah, I feel like it would be hard to weave it into the entire canon at this point. But I guess, if they do cover the Old Republic anytime, or a time before the Old Republic, the Old Republic, pre-Republic, I don't know, maybe. But I feel like that stuff was maybe slated for movies, and I definitely don't think that they would, well, I don't know if they would introduce an entirely new species attached to the idea of the Sith in movies for the casual fan.
I think that what I might be kind of against, I'm not trying to bash the Sith species because I really like Naga Sadow and stuff.
Not against it.
Well, no, I think that the reason now I'm like kind of against them coming back, at least in the way they were, is that no species should be like purely evil dark side, and that's kind of what the Sith species were. And I think Star Wars is very much a like anyone can be good except for those guys. Like that doesn't really fit in. I wouldn't mind maybe seeing that design come back with just a different name, because I do think they look cool.
Yeah.
That's all the time we have for questions today. If you want to leave a question for next week's video, just put it in the comments below or sign up for Patreon to join our weekly Q&A discussion. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel.
Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
And as always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.